So you can rest assured that there's going to be absolutely no jump scares throughout the course of this review. I am not going to be that mean and subject to you guys to repeated jump scares over and over and over again because I am way too nice of a person to allow that to happen. I could do that, but I'm not going to in this instance. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and welcome to my review of Insidious Out of the Further, which is the sixth film in the Insidious franchise, which is absolutely insane. And yes, you might be wondering, why on earth are you watching the sixth film in a franchise when you have not seen or even talked about any of the other five films that are in the franchise? Well, if you ask my parents, that is pretty much the modus operandi in how I operate. I always see the latest version and then I go back and watch the previous installments. That's just it's just how I roll. Unfortunately, that's just how I roll. But in this movie, we have Amelia Eve, Brandon Pereira, Maisie Richardson, Sellers, Sam Spurl, Island Austin, Laura Gordon, um, Susan Gray, and of course the legendary linshaye as part of the cast, as well as so many others. This movie is written and directed by Jacob Chase. Chase did also have help with the story by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who we have talked about in the past because he ended up doing Conjuring Last Rites, which I believe I have talked about on the channel. I think. I'm pretty sure that I talked about Conjuring Last Rites. I think. Although my memory is not serving me well right now. um, but of course, he has also helped out on other um, James Wan projects in the past, like I said, Conjuring, but also um, did the two Aquaman movies that James Wan did. So, there is that. And this movie follows a woman, Gemma, and her daughter, Maya. Um, and, everything is going well in their little neighborhood until Gemma starts having these weird dreams that take her to this weird space with all of these weird people. Of course, we know that she is being taken into the further. And of course, she wants to know how on earth she can stop all of these dreams. So she now has to connect with the ghost of, oh God, Elise. I almost forgot the name of Lin Shaye's character. She needs to connect with the spirit of Elise to try and figure out how to stop it before the spirits of the further figure out a way to escape. So, like I said, this movie is the sixth installment in the Insidious franchise, and this is my first Insidious movie. Um, I know ostensibly what happens in each of the movies. The first two follow a family. I know that the parents are played by, oh my God, I'm just forgetting names left, right, and center here. Um, Patrick Wilson, yes. Father's played by Patrick Wilson. The mom is played by Rose Byrne. The first two movies follow that family. The next movies, 3 and 4, I think are prequel movies to the first two, if I'm not mistaken. And then the fifth one is a follow-up to the first two, where we catch up with the family, like, I think 10 years after the events of the first two films, if I'm not mistaken. So I have generalities as to what goes on in each of the movies. And I also know that these movies are jump scare fests, um, because these are the movies that I think are well known for jump scares with big, loud scores in your face about it. So, of course, me being an absolute pansy when it comes to watching horror movies in a theater, and am easily scared by the smallest of things. I went into this movie with a little bit of worry because, you know, of my proclivity of, being scared very easily. And I will say, I did walk out of this relatively okay. There were a few jump scares in this that did get me, one of which caught me off guard 100%, was not expecting it. Um, but most of the other ones I was able to predict and just know when they were coming relatively easily. So I think, although granted, I did not watch them on the screen. I watched the movie sometimes like this, just to avoid, me looking at the jump scares. Um, but I think I did relatively okay while watching this. I think anyway. Um, I think Jacob Chase did a really good job of not only writing this movie, well, I would say especially writing this movie, because from what I have at least heard from like the outside world, uh, the Insidious movies, like maybe bar the first two, aren't really that good. Like, I know people hate movie 4 the most, um, but I don't think these movies are as highly guarded as some other horror movies. Um, But this one, it does a really good job of making a really good story, especially for Gemma in this movie. And her connection to her daughter Maya, I thought was also really well done in this movie. And Gemma's character, like I said, has a really good story and a really nice arc to it that I think really does a good job of complementing the story, I think, in a really, really good way, especially when it gets to the ending. Like, that ties it together so good. Um, Chase's direction in this is also really good as well, especially in terms of the Pillow Fort sequence. I'm not spoiling anything in this because they show a little bit of it in the trailer, but like when Gemma is looking around corners, I was not able to watch that because I've seen enough horror movies in my time to know like when, and this movie is also shot sometimes in first person, which is also another compliment and also another thing that I hated about this movie. It's a compliment, but when I say I hate it, it actually means it's really, really good. Um, but I hated the fact when this movie went into first person, because when that goes into first person, it's like looking through another set of eyes. So when that camera turns, I'm fully expecting something to be there, but it turns out there wasn't anything there, and it riles up my nerves so much, which I understand is the point, but it's just like, no. There's also, I'm not going to say anything, but just like the fact that some of this movie was shot in first person just made my skin crawl all the more, much more. And it's like, no, just no. Um, the performances in this movie were really, really good. Um, Amelia Eve did a really good job as Gemma. Brandon Pereira, who, uh, because I was like, I kept looking at his character, and I was just like, um, I recognize this dude, and I was like, I think he's the same dude from Nope. And turns out I was correct. He is the same guy from Nope. He was also in a show called The OA, even though I've personally not seen that show. But I think most people would recognize him from his role in Nope. I thought he did a really good job as well. Um, of course, linshaye coming back for what I think, because I know she's in the first four movies. I could be wrong when I state this, but she might be in all six. I don't know, and again, I could be 100% wrong on that. But she has stuck with this franchise for a really long time. And of course, her performance as Elise is really, really good. And, she was awesome in this movie. Um, of course, Joe Bashara once again comes back to do the score for this movie. And I should say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show this or say this because I don't think it will be that big of a surprise. Or at least, uh, eh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. So, this is maybe a little bit of a light spoiler for the movie. But Joe Bashara famously played the monster in the first Insidious. In, in, I'm just getting tongue tied left, right, and center today. And plus it's getting late. I need to go to bed. He played the demon in the first Insidious movie, which they named Lipstick Demon. I would just, call him, Darth Maul looking self. But, that's just my opinion. He does show up in this movie, the Darth Maul looking self. He does show up in this movie. So that is just a little bit of a light spoiler for this movie. Again, I don't want to say too much more than that, but I just thought I'd let you know about that. But Bashar's score, I thought, was really, really good in this. Definitely carried an air of tension throughout the entirety of the film and just kept me on edge throughout the whole runtime of the movie. And overall, I should also say the cinematography by Dave Garbett, um, and that's also, again, a compliment to Jacob Chase and his direction. Again, all solid throughout, especially, Garbett and Chase with the way that they shot this. Again, with those first person camera views, I didn't like it. Well, when I say I didn't like it, that means like that's some really good stuff. But like, no, just just no. Um, but overall, man, I had a really really fun time watching this. As it my first exposure to the Insidious franchise, to me, I thought this was a pretty good, like, introductory movie, in my opinion. Like, really good performances in the cast, really good writing from Chase, um, as well as, really good story done by him and Johnson McGoldrick. Great performances in the cast. Really good score by Joe Bashara. Um, really good cinematography by Garbett. Like, to me, this was pretty good. And so, if you are a fan of the Insidious franchise, I think you're going to enjoy this because as a non uh, fan, or I shouldn't say non-fan, as someone new experiencing this franchise for the first time, I thought this was pretty good. And so, if you're a fan or not, I think you're going to walk away with this pretty well pleased. But that's just my opinion on it. What did you guys think of Insidious Out of the Further? Let me know down in the comments below. But I think that's going to be pretty much it for me on this one, guys. Be safe out there. And just for a little bit of reference, if you play any Tiny Tim songs um, anywhere near my vicinity, I'm either going to A, break the player that's playing those songs, or two, I'm going to drop kick you in the face for playing said songs. Because I don't want that kind of juju in my life. Don't want it. Absolutely don't want it. And I will catch you guys next time.